Welcome to the video introduction about the paper. So in this paper, I discuss the problem about poor diet and the incidence of chronic disease. So here's the structure of my paper. First, I use the introduction part to describe the problem about poor diet and the chronic disease. I use some data to analyze to show it is actually a common phenomenon for a lot of people to have a healthy lifestyle, specifically a healthy diet. And this actually badly affects our health conditions, which should raise attention on how to solve this problem. And it is very important to discuss and find the reason behind the problem. In this paper, I use 3 frameworks to discuss this problem. So the first framework I use is behavioral economics. It is kind of a common sense that diet is based on the people's preference and is actually a personal decision, and different people have different preference. But in this paper, I use economics perspective to discuss the reason behind the preference, why people making this kind of choice rather than having a healthy diet. So the second framework I use is Grossman model. From the above discussion, we analyze the reason why people make the unhealthy diet choice. And so once the choice was already made, what the consequences will be in terms of the healthcare resource. So I use the Grossman model to analyze the per diet choice, how it's going to affect the demand for healthcare resource. The last framework I use is this model, which analyzed if it's possible for people with poor diet and chronic disease to acquire the medical care resource they need, because from the above discussion, people will have a highest demand for healthcare resource. And this part will analyze if it is possible for them to actually access the healthcare resource they need. And then the last part of the paper is the conclusion. And I drove some my assumptions about the deeply reason about for this problem. And I made some recommendation for the decision makers as well. So above is the video introduction for my paper. Thank you.